Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Dominions 4 in the 7-person free-for-all series playing as Shinuyama. This is turn number 29, and I think we're going to kind of power through this one, not talk too much about it. I don't have I Seen You Before here to join me today, so we won't really be able to get into a lot of the deeper magical talk or research talk. We have completed the next tier in Evocation, so we're still going up in this Evocation. We have eventually... Falling Fires we want in tier 5, which is going to be nice to let Tortuga-san, my pretender, actually unleash what will probably be, I think, for him, the most powerful spell he'll have access to. So it'll be interesting to see that in play, but we won't see it quite yet. Now, what has happened this turn? We did a lot of site searching. We did our Ghost General casting, Awakening of Vine Ogres, a lot of magic site searching, and we found 2 in Kennen. 10,000 things in the Underworld. The Underworld being actually, to be honest, quite a good one because we really wanted... Oh wait, no, that's the Earth one. Is it 10,000? Yeah, the 10,000 things is one of every kind of gem, basically, which is nice. Okay, so one of every kind of gem except for Death Gem, which is the kind of the real kicker for us there. I guess it also doesn't have... Let's see... Earth, fire, air, water, nature. Yeah. It just has everything except for... Yeah, except for death. I mean, and astral, but I'm not really thinking about astral quite yet. So, that's not a surprise. Let me move this over a little bit. Okay. So, what actually happened during this turn in terms of combat? Well, by the way, the war with Vanheim and Agartha seems to be underway now. We have Agartha very aggressively taking the Cerulean Sea, and it looks like they're just moving aggressively against Ulm in this case, because I think Vanheim has a few provinces, a few forts along the coast to kind of protect some kind of incursion, which it looks like Agartha might be trying against Ulm. Now, as far as we go, Asphodel's back is already broken, so I don't have to worry too much about their defenses now. We've basically crushed everything except for this main force in Scythia. And I think that not just the physical army of Asphodel is broken, but their spirit. Their spirit is really gone. And I feel bad again, as I've said before, for Dwarf Comic, because we just trashed him from the beginning. But I think that this means that he's not even going to attempt to move his army out of Scythia. It can't get to Asphodel in time anyway. But, you know... He's going to stay and defend this throne instead. So eventually I suppose Asphodel will go to AI control because Dwarf Comic, there's nothing more he can do. So we moved out of Feral Woods last turn with our Kappa group. And they're moving back. We're going to just cut off. This is just our way of like cutting off Asphodel from their backtrack. Actually, this is a way of almost cutting off Man from coming in, or keeping Man further away from Asphodel's capital. We don't really need to do that. Man is our ally, but they've basically done their job. They eliminated some kind of army up in Bamat. Anyway, so let's see. What else do we have? Okay, so there was this battle in Florian, which I guess we can look at. There's really not much to say. It's just the elimination of just a few province defenses, but it's kind of nice to see how powerful our army has become. I always enjoy seeing this. So, let's just do this at triple speed, though. There's a lot of casting of undead. We're not even using here our flaming arrows because it's not even worth it, I suppose. The game's basically saying, or the game has determined that they don't have enough to really make it worth our while. And there it is. They're already starting to rout. And there it is. They're routing. So, pretty... I mean, it's a very one-sided affair, and we don't expect anything else. The other thing is we did buy, I don't know if I mentioned last turn, but we would be actually hiring mercenaries. So we decided to gobble up both Magnus's crossbows and Fordo Boggets. I love that still. Just because we had a little bit of extra money, and what's even better is we're going to be able to split our forces to head south and north at the same time, just in case this army does come at us. They haven't shown any signs of moving yet, but if they do come at us, I'd like to weaken them with this group of crossbowmen and, you know, hobbits and all that first. And if not, if they don't come after us, we can use this group, hopefully, to take as many provinces in the south as possible to just speed up the process of conquest, which would be nice. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else to talk about? They have a new prophet, but okay, it's a little late for that. I think that's really all that's going on right now. I'm still trying to shift some more spies over to this area so that we have better vision. Yeah, I think that this is going to be a nice quick video, or quick turn, I should say. And we'll try to get the next turn, 30, and even turn 31 all into the same episode. Just to, I think turn 31 is the one that is now supposed to be released. So I'll try to get all 3 into one video so we can get that released and out. And I'll be back up current with my release schedule. So I mean, there's really not much to say about this episode. Let's just take a quick look at recruitment. Just getting Ubas and continuing to push out those longbowmen. Sorry if there's background noise. Got these neighborhood kids who are pretty loud. Ubas all around and a few crossbowmen. I mean, I'm sorry, not crossbow. Longbowmen. Longbow. Dai Bakemono. Crossbow, longbow style. This is really distracting, this noise outside. Anyways, we have that going because we're eventually going to want another army besides the one we have out in Asphodel. We could even face some kind of attack, or I guess one thing we really want to do is eventually we really have to take Fever Fence. We left this after our initial attempts last time, but you know, it's overdue, long overdue for us to actually take it. So we'll probably start moving out towards that soon. And it's nice at least that we have a few more Shuras coming out, Ghost Generals. These are going to be very helpful if we have any kind of contact with Airmore or with Vanheim or with, I mean, Asphodel's probably, it's probably okay to look past them already. But we'll keep doing our site searching and recruiting our armies. And I am asking for Moonsea from Agartha. So that'll probably happen in this episode, not next turn, but so that's it. So I'll see you back for turn 30 in a moment. Okay, here is turn number 30. Several battles in this episode, but not much else to talk about. Research is just slowly progressing, and one of the big reasons we had a slight hiccup in the research, the speed will be increasing more and more and more as the turns go on, is just because we had to pull our whole army to deal with Asphodel. Well, at least most of our Ubas. Not all of them, but you know, a fair chunk. So speaking of Asphodel, we have now actually fought them at their capital, so this is an exciting turn for us. I mean, finally the resolution that we've been seeking for, you know, so many game months. So we searched for a few sites. We did the normal Vine Ogres, Ghost Generals. Battle in Deep Forest, this is our Kappas, and I have to report that unfortunately Kappas do not fare as well on land as I was expecting. We'll just do it this way. So I think it's because their fatigue wore them out, so we're going to see unfortunately that they're fighting well right now, they're doing well. But their fatigue is, okay, at 23. Higher their fatigue goes, the easier they are to hit. So right now, we're winning this easily. But fatigue is getting higher. Fatigue is getting higher. 59 on those guys. One more turn. Okay, 64. 41 down here. And just when we're about to win, we have to march all this, the rest of this distance, though. And you can see now we're getting even higher in fatigue, 75, 69. So we easily defeated those forces, but just as we get to them, unfortunately, our armies decide that 95, fatigue, 75, we're just 101, so this person is now asleep and dead. But we just couldn't, obviously going to win this if our forces just survive, but the thing is, they actually completely were wiped out because they can't even retreat with such low fatigue. They just fall asleep. This guy right here just can't do anything. Can't even get out. So that's a little unfortunate. That's the reason why you don't bring Kappas to a land battle. But you can see that they still hold their own for a fair amount of time. Asphodel. Big battle here too. Asphodel did have good province defense in its capital. So this was a little more exciting. They brought in all their harpies, plenty of them. But we had our nice, fresh, diseased group in front. So I didn't mind having these guys get attacked first. This was buying us time to build up our horde of skeletons anyway. And we'll just go to faster speed on this. Not much to say about this. This was enough for Tortuga-san to warrant casting flaming arrows. And we're just going to wipe out this group of satyrs. It's not going to be much of a fair fight. Oh god. We were also targeting cavalry, which is why we were actually attacking the back line there. Just devastating. Now poor Azaeus, he's just wrong place, wrong time. These guys are getting wiped out. Now the undead are now taking the brunt of the damage from the Asphodel army, and that already signals that we're going to wipe them out. Because now that our main forces aren't even taking damage, it's just a matter of time. I mean, unless we run out of, like, what was it? You have 40 shots with your arrows or something like that? But doesn't matter. So, what would that look like in total? We lost 8 Bakemono archers, 0 die Bakemono. So some of our actual, like, the cheaper units got wiped out, which we don't mind. I'm surprised none of our die Bakemonos, the disease ones, none of them were actually killed. And now, the entrance to the fortification in Asphodel has been breached, so we can storm it. Kennen had a nice event, 400 gold for us. That's nice. We'll be using that. And Saboria, the last thing is our mercenaries. The hobbits and our crossbowmen went in, and this was truly the final the final battle for our hobbits. Really, they fought long, they fought well, but this is really the end time for them. They're going to go in there and fight bravely, but they were just slaughtered wholesale. And although we ended up winning this battle, I don't think there's many hobbits left now. There's like, what? They even retreated, but I think there's like 7 hobbits left or something, maybe even less. The crossbowmen, who weren't firing all that often, they were being affected by, what was that, numbness or something. But eventually we held out, we won. The poor hobbits. Not many survived, as I said, so we have 3 hobbits left and we have 18 crossbowmen. But that's okay, we're getting really good use out of these units. They were able to take this territory for us, and that was the important thing. That's really most of what happened this turn. Now, I did actually decide to move out onto Fever Fens. So, we are moving out with a couple of Shuras, and we're moving out with Fusashige. And he's got his Fire 3 and Jar of Fire, or whatever, I forget what it's called. Yeah, Fire in a Jar. So we'll be moving on Fever Fens, and we'll be using a lot of Dai Bakemono longbowmen with the flaming arrows to hopefully take this place. I don't think there's much left here anyway. It says 7 enemy units. There's just very, very few warriors. Most of what we have to worry about is those wizards. So we'll see how that goes. And our Kappas have actually been slowly pushing back out with a reasonable force. So we're finally going to be able to take Triton Sea, which will do that. Finally, we connect our shoreline, which is good. It's been a long time in coming. So Saboria, we actually own. This is the Iron Throne. We have the Iron Throne. This is great. Iron Throne. That sounds familiar. Is that a reference to Game of Thrones? Is it the Iron Throne that people seek? I don't know. But if it is, we have it. So it's over here in Saboria. What's next for us? Well, we're going to storm the castle. This person moving this way is just a scout. We don't really care about taking Deep Forest. They did take it from our Kappas, which means man can have it. Fine. But it doesn't matter. We don't really care where man takes up to this point. We just want to hold Asphodel. I mean, I could have taken Deep Forest and forced man to stop at Feral Woods. Man obviously doesn't deserve, hasn't earned the right to move down. They only moved down here after I killed their capital, basically. They took a step on High Woods, the turn, which is the farthest they've gone down this little land chain, this small little land bridge. And they only are going to move further once I actually own Asphodel's capital, just to put things in perspective. So, After this, we'll conquer Asphodel, and then we'll start moving out to Valdor and Setica. We'll probably go down here and claim the throne at Saboria, and then I guess I have my eyes on Scythia. So what else do we have? Oh, we've done some site searching, but I'm going to move these guys back to get a little bit more research done, although we did leave a few of these provinces without site searching quite yet. What else? I think I'm moving over here to actually get some site searching done. No, actually, who's moving? Yeah, Katsui is going over here. We don't have any nature site searching done here. But also I can move her into Fever Fens to join this army when we want to take Fever Fens next turn. That's it. So scouts are being pushed out a little bit better. We're getting a little bit better vision. Agartha is now taking back calls from Vanheim. That war is in full effect. We actually see that Agartha has invaded Anphalia from the sea. And that's interesting. So I'm going to try to put some scouts in position to see some of the conflict between Ulm and Agartha. That's interesting. I mean, Ulm has been kind of hamstrung the whole game, so it'd be interesting to see how well they're able to hold off. Now, especially with the fact that Agartha is going to have to face Vanheim. So that's, I don't know, very interesting. We'll see how that develops, but I don't need to spend too much time on this turn because there's not much going on. We're finally going to get the next tier in evocation next turn. Yeah. And we're going to start switching over to we just want one more in alteration. Let's see, what was this for? I can't even remember what it was for. See, this is why I wish I had seen you before here. But anyway, hopefully we'll have him back in the next turn, so hopefully in just a couple more seconds here. So let's see, recruitment. Last thing we'll cover is recruitment. Again, Ubas. I think a sorcerer would be good, so I'm going to get another one soon, but for now it's just all Ubas and a few of our forces, a few of our recruitments. It looks like only one of them. Continuing with Bakemono longbowmen as well. I mean, we do have a sizable amount of them built up, and we even have some vine ogres built up. But so 44 of them here. It's a good number. Okay, so that's it. What's the plan moving forward? Like I said, take Asphodel first, take Fever Fens, and then we're going to kind of sit and feel out where we should move from there. Probably attacking Airmore, because that's the next. We just need to stop this Dominion from killing us, which is just. It is killing us. It's just wiping out our ability to have any kind of income in Erd, or even Forest of Agila is just income of 63. It's much slower than it probably would have been if we weren't next to Airmore. So Airmore is a thorn in the side of any living nation. That's always going to be the case. So, but that's it. So in the next few seconds, you'll get to see turn number 31 as well. Lucky you. So I'll see you back for that in a second. Okay, welcome to turn 31. I was really hoping to get Icy Noon before in to join me for this episode, but we're just going to have to push on without him. The recording schedule will just get really, really far behind if we get trying to make our schedules align. So I'm not going to talk too much about research. It's really, I am at the whims of my advisors for this. This has always been my weakest point, is the magic research. So we're pushing. I think this turn I actually had. I had to do this turn without Icy Noon before, I believe. So I just put it all into evocation, even though we already have Falling Fires. There's like Magma Eruption is not a terrible one. I think it's a pretty good spell. And I don't know what we would pursue further down. I don't think Firestorm is going to be useful. Yeah, because this kills everyone, including me. It probably wouldn't be as bad if we had like massive fire resistance, but no. So nothing else. If we get down to level 9, I don't think we'll make it that far, but there's Volcanic Eruption, which is even better than Magma Eruption. Flames from the Sky, also good, but I don't think that these are going to become relevant in this game. Mainly, I think that the important thing for us, the crux of our little mini strategy with Tortuga-san, was him being able to cast Falling Fires. And having other individuals able to cast this as well, because it is Fire 3, and we can get Fire 3 sorcerers Not only that, but we can also get Fire 3. We can actually get Fire 4 sorcerers if they're level 3 and we give them some kind of fire upgrade. So that's the magic research. I won't touch too much on it because we have more important things to talk about. Well, better things I'm more well suited to talk about. How about that? Looking for magic sites, still not finding any. We found an okay number, but probably less than I would have expected for this phase in the game. And that's partly because I haven't been looking as much. Das Tactic did lose, so Man did lose the their prophet in the war, the first battle with Asphodel, which went poorly. So they have now gotten a new prophet. That was very quick. I think it's only been like 5 turns, so that I remember I waited, I think, almost a full year for mine. But everyone else seems to be getting theirs up a little bit faster. Now there's several battles here, as you can see, and all of them involve me. These are not ones our scouts are reporting, so we do have a lot to talk about. Airmore has attacked us in the Sea of Mermaids, and although this is just against a province defense, so it's not really important, it is kind of interesting to see how incredibly massive this army of Airmore is. They're attacking us with the full force of their army, I guess. They're bringing everything to bear here. One important thing, though, one really important thing, is that they don't have a lot of casters. They really don't have a lot of casters. So they have 2 of these Night Kings, or Mountain Kings, but they probably have some casters in here somewhere. Okay, here's the Lich King himself, so he's definitely a caster. But so there might be other casters intermixed here, but the point is, after looking through this, I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is mainly an army which is physical. Obviously, it's going to overrun a lot of the stuff that we have, but being only a physical army has its limitations outside of the early game. Now, nonetheless, I mean, it's just a massive number of forces, close to 400, so it's definitely something threatening. So at the same time that he took Sea of Mermaids, I just got done. I mean, it's like a mom in her room. I just cleaned up this mess. I finally took the Triton Sea, and this was in a battle. So it's like, this is the battle that we just lost, and now we're in this province. And we win this one. We take, pretty serious casualties again. This was almost an even fight. Our Kappas are better one-on-one, but they have enough that it's just, they're going to do some damage. So let's go up to triple here even, and we are nicely healing in between, which is nice. It's saving us a little bit, but you can see we're losing numbers, and their armies have now routed. But to take a look at that one, over all told, we lost 10, so that's a good number, and others who have wounds, although I think those will regenerate. Now there's a battle in Saboria. This is the Throne Province, so we'll see. This is the Throne Province right south of Asphodel. Let's turn off the terrain for this. They just attacked my province defense, and thankfully my province defense isn't Shinuyama's warriors. It's like these militia and heavy warriors. Yeah, heavy infantry. So we were actually able to repel this, which was very lucky. Like, it's only because I think we killed their commander, and once he's dead, the army's rout. I don't know if we would have survived anyways. They might have killed my commander very quickly, but we got away with that one. It's nice. Did eliminate their troops. Then there's a battle in Ostmark. This was our initiation, so we'll go to this one. Basically, this is the continuing forward of our mercenary armies. So we can see that this is just minor province defense. And even though it's only minor province defense, we're still going to take a few casualties. We have a few of the hobbits left, and really, I think that they lose all of them. Yeah, so that's the last of the hobbits, except for the Fordo Boggett himself, who's unkillable, of course. The legend is mightier than than the deeds of this world, so he cannot be killed. So that's it, though. That's the end for the. That's really the end of the Burgmeister guards of Fordo Boggett and his band of hobbits. There's only him left, and I guess. Obviously, we're not going to re-recruit just a leader. And we still do have enough crossbowmen, 15 with the captain himself, that we can try to push on one more, but you know, it's futile, right? We will, because we have them for one more turn, but we're not going to try to pick them up on contract again. Then Asphodel. So I guess that the Asphodel tried to retake their territory, and they sent a significant number. This is, I think, the remains of the army which was attacking Man. This might be an interesting battle to look at, actually. So let's just take a look and see what happens here. My question is, I don't remember, does Tortuga-san feel like this is a worthy battle to do flaming arrows? It doesn't cost us anything because we have, yep, he did. We don't have, we have fire in a jar, so it doesn't cost us anything anyways. Oh, and then we're still targeting the cavalry, so we're attacking these centaur hierophants, which is great actually, because that prevents them from being in future battles. I don't actually mind having a few of these black centaurs on the field, which looks like they don't have any. They have one black centaur maybe. So yeah, it was probably a good call to use flaming arrows. This is significant. Now the question is, will my undead group get in front of my injured, diseased group? So there's their two black centaurs. They're not long for this world. Rest assured. A big enough fight that we'll, well, you know, let's take this one slowly. Okay, wow. And the undead have moved beyond my wall, which is always nice to see. This guy is 1 hit point left, so we'll probably waste a few arrows on him. Dust to dust being spammed out. Okay, there, yeah, we killed him, and they're doing some damage, but they're doing banishment on my undead units, which is not a big deal. So these are really important to get rid of, these carrion beast elephants, but we have dust to dust to really help us with that as well. So banishment's happening, but I think a lot of that is going towards our undead. What's this? Can't even figure out what this one is, but that's okay. It's like, what is that? A bear? I think it's a bear. Yeah. So now at this point it's over. They're gonna route. I don't think there's any place for them to route to either. Do we get one more volley off? Yeah, we did kill one more. I think that's good because that is okay. They have one black dryad here. They have plague pit, the carrion. Okay, so they have a few people who lived. Still, the black dryad lived. One carrion centaur, one carrion lord lived. 3 centaur hierophants, but the rest are dead. So they had 6 of their 83 survive, and we didn't lose a single person. Although we may have taken a few injuries to die Bakemonos. I really don't think we did, though. So that was a wonderful battle. The important thing is, I guess they did have a place to retreat. So there's the 8 remaining, well, 6 remaining, or was it 7 out of 77 out of 83? I think 6 remaining. So 2 free spawned here, maybe. And that's going to be Man's job. So the question is going to be now how to distribute the territory. And I think this is the turn. I have sent Olm a message and Man saying, we now need to talk about distribution of Asphodel because it's time for us to start divvying up these lands. And of course Olm has some claim to it because he fought well. He was the original... I mean, he didn't actually help out much by moving an army down, but his initial force did take out one of Asphodel's main... You know, he contributed, basically. I mean, he was the... he was kind of like the France that fell. Well, he didn't fall in this case, but wasn't able to help beyond the initial attack. And we're probably like... I don't know, there's not a really good World War II comparison here. Because Man has done very little. Man would be like the Canada, whereas we would be like the Great Britain. Even though Great Britain and Canada were synonymous. But we are like the United States, and this is like New Zealand. I don't know. Australia. He's Australian, right? So he can be Australia, and I'm from the United States, so this was the United States. And that is about the ratio of effectiveness in this battle. Whereas, like I said, Ulm was just France, contributed in the very beginning, but it wasn't forget the resistance for a moment, was not helpful beyond that. Just had that one big fight, Australia had their one big fight over in Abbey, but they lost their original fight, so that was really just one fight for them, and we've even had to kill the stragglers, so. Okay, that all said, other stuff is going on this turn. We have taken control of so this is, I didn't mention this, I don't know why I didn't harp on this. This is huge. We've taken control of Asphodel. This is now ours, and hugely important is the Carrion Grove. 6 nature gems, 1 death gem. Death gem is one of the ones we need the most for our sure activity, but nature gems has been our way of building or creating, summoning, awakening. What is the word I'm looking for? Awakening vine ogres and forging vine shields. These are the 2 things I want my nature gems to go towards. With this influx of 6 nature gems, it's possible for us to do that, and that is really phenomenal. So, okay, so that's Asphodel is now, it was like, this is dotting our I's and crossing our T's. We knew this would happen, but it's good that we finally have it. Sylvania finally had this event happen. So an assassination attempt on Shiori, we gained 108 gold. The Pebble Pouch and the Cat Charm. These charms are not really worth much, and 108 gold basically pays for the fact that our Shiori Uba was killed by this cockatrice. I never imagined that cockatrices were so deadly, but they are quite deadly. So the cockatrice just flew in and hit us, and we just almost instantly died. I think we were also poisoned, weren't we? If I had been in a different shape form, we might have won this, but we transformed into the other shape, and then we're not just routed, we're dead. So we did not kill the cockatrice killed us. But that's it. That's the event is over. So they gave us money to buy a new Uba, basically, and a few items, which I probably would have just traded for having an Uba able to do research this turn, but that's fine. Utterdeep, minus tax, plus unrest. Stonegrave, always problems with Stonegrave, 35 unrest. Okay. So this turn we're moving back into the water. And the reason I'm doing this is because we have a Shura, I think, doing it, right? Yeah. I'm going to get this Shura to link back up with this army, and I think the fastest way is 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're just trying to use this as a shortcut, a highway. And I finally, this turn, I did request Moon Sea from Agartha. This is official now, and they have officially let me. So with this huge army of Airmore, there's nothing I can do with a few Kappas anyway. So we'll move from Blue Water into Moon Sea, and that'll link. We'll basically be controlling the Panama Canal. We'll control the transportation canal between the 2 bodies of water. So that's good. Now, what are we going to do about Airmore? I guess we're going to have to move out, which is what I'm doing here. And we're going to start plowing down and then marching on to Airmore, because they've now they're provoking me. I mean, I'm going to ask Sabouts what's going on with this, because this is unprovoked. You would think that Airmore, with their last dying breath, would be focused on taking Vanheim, who was the one who brought them to ruin. But maybe Airmore has a grander plan in mind, where Shinuyama is the first target for some reason. Our aggression against them was confined to a run with our hobbits through Perenna and Osmark, then to move north to Asphodel. And we left that humorous remark about our hobbits being lost looking for Mount Doom or something like that. Anyway, we were in and then we were out, and we've just established our position at Erd, which is fine. This is 3 away from Airmore, so I don't think it's it's 1, 2, 1, 2. It's 3 away from Shinuyama as well. So in my opinion, it's equidistant between our capitals. It's anybody's claim. It's fair game for anyone. Okay, let's try to keep this episode shorter, though. We've gone through all the battles. We've done all this stuff. Things to look at for this turn. Well, we have our reaction to Airmore, which is, I'm going to probe diplomatically and see what he's up to, because Airmore, in my opinion, should be going after Vanheim. This is the much more important thing for us as well. If they go after Vanheim, Vanheim is the elephant in the room, really. We're all kind of doing our little thing, dancing around Asphodel. Agartha and Vanheim are now attacking each other. This is the perfect opportunity for Airmore to get involved, considering Agartha and Vanheim, probably the 2 world's giants, are at war with each other right now. This is just a perfect opportunity. We're also getting more spies into position, which is always, helpful. I'm quite happy to see that. What else do we have? Oh yes, this attack on Fever Fens. So this is finally coming to fruition. I have set up Fusashige, speaking of Falling Fires, Phoenix Power, that's the one. So we just cast Phoenix Power to get one more fire, and then he's able to cast Falling Fires. He only has 2, so he has 3, so this is going to be very effective for Falling Fires. Does he have... He does have Fire in a Jar. Good. I thought he did. So this is going to be the whole crux of this mission, is to cast Flaming Arrows to give our large number of Dai Bakemono troops something to be supported. And they're being supported by Asukai Rin, by the way, who's a very good leader. So we're going in, we're attacking, casting our spells. Flaming Arrows is going to be there, on round 2, so we won't have to wait very long. There shouldn't be anything left but mages anyway. We have our Shura, who actually has the Frost brand, which is going to be helpful, because we have fire damage, now we have frost damage, so we're covering all our bases. And I don't really care if this scout engages. I don't think he's actually slated to engage. Yeah, he's sneaking in. He's there to actually build the fort once we complete the conquest here. And this Uba is just doing dust to dust. It's just a support. Katsui, who was going to do site searching, is going to do an attack first, and then we'll get someone else, Wazuka, to do the site search there instead. That's an important thing to know. We'll have to see how that goes in Fever Fens, how those mages fare. I think we'll take it. So, let's see what else. I think that's everything. There's a lot of diplomacy going on behind the scenes right now. And that's what I mentioned a lot of times. Because really, I think the most important part of this game right now is diplomatic. Like the fact that Vanheim and Agartha is fighting is huge. And Agartha has asked me to join. And I've actually sent him a message saying, like, wow, you actually are doing really well. Okay, he's lost Jeburo and Salam to Vanheim raiding parties. But he's taken Okal's and Gol Riepe, or Gol Reap, and Deadlands, and he's obviously moved. I mean, he's moving into Ulm pretty strong here. I don't know where he's going to go. This is obviously just him going from Anfalia to Boral, so I don't know if he'll stay in Boral, go to Sonria, go to Satala. Doesn't make sense for him to try to take Hunal Forest, because considering there's a fortress there, but yeah, we'll have a few scouts moving around, trying to see if we can get eyes on the action here. So we'll see what happens. If he moves to Sonria, then I'll get eyes on it from here. If he moves to Junal Forest, I'll get eyes on it from this one. Yeah. Mission, obviously it's been a focus for the last 5 or 6 turns to get more spies out. And we're moving more spies out to this area, which appears to be the Crucible. Really the big conflict is going on in this marshy valley area next to the river. So that's where, well, I guess the big sea, these are rivers, but anyway. Okay, so that's going to wrap this up for this turn. We will... What do we have left? Nothing, yeah. So we'll do this attack on Fever Fens, and we'll continue to monitor the progress of Agartha and Vanheim with more scouts as things go on, also against Ulm. And then we'll talk a little bit more about how this land should be divided in the upcoming turns. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode, which I think will, I mean, that's turn 32, and that one might be out very soon. It might be a standalone. So anyways, thanks for watching, and until the next episode, take care.